Hi everyone, I'm FM Greeno, up here in the top left hand corner for a change, and I'm bringing you something new on the channel today. We are going to be playing a game of cribbage. Now, cribbage is a card game, normally played between two players, 1v1, although there are variants that have 3, 4, even 6 players, but they're a little more unusual. So it's a card game played with a standard deck of cards. It has a scoring system. Basically the idea is to score points using your hands and various other aspects of gameplay. Move around the board here with scoring points as you go along, and the first person to get over the finish line is the winner. Now there are various aspects, various ways to score points, but we'll talk through them as we go through the game. If you do enjoy this kind of content, please drop a like on the episode for me, and if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and leave any comments you have, whether you play cribbage, whether you would like to take it up, anything you'd like to know about the game, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Anyway, without further ado, let's start a game, and we'll talk through the rules as we go along. So, the first thing that we have to do in the game is to cut to see who will deal the first hand. Being the dealer first is a slight advantage. Lowest card wins. We got a 6, they got a 10. We will be the dealer first. Basically what happens, you'll see here 6 cards have been dealt, and basically you have to retain 4 of those cards as your hand, and you'll put 2 into what is known as the crib or the box. This is a spare hand that's used at the end of the game for scoring points. So there are various ways to score points with your hand. If you have cards that add up to 15, that could be a 10 and a 5, that could be a 3, a 4 and an 8, anything like that. If it adds up to 15, that's worth 2 points to you. If you have a pair, that's worth 2 points to you. If you have 3 of a kind, that's worth 6. 4 of a kind is worth 12. That's pretty rare. If you have a run in your hand, like I do here, 9, 10, jack, that's worth 3 points to you. And if you have a flush, again, depending on how many cards altogether there are in your hand, that will be worth like 4, maybe even 5 points. So when you select your hand, you will also be given a turn-up card, which everybody uses to add to their hand. So effectively, you've got a hand of 5 cards. Of course, no one knows what that's going to be until you've already made the decision what you're going to throw into the crib. So, looking at this, the only real way I got of scoring points here is with this run, this 9, 10, jack. So I'm going to keep them together. Now, because it's my crib, I'm going to make a different decision of what I'm going to throw away compared to if it was my opponent's crib. So I'm going to put the 3 and the 4 in there because I think there's a good chance for me to score points from that. Perhaps there'll be a run, something like that, when it comes to me using that hand at the end of this deal. So that's what I'm going to do. My opponent will also throw 2 cards in there, as you can see. And an 8 has turned up here. So that actually gives me an extra point, because that takes my run from 9, 10, jack to 8, 9, 10, jack. So I'll have 4 points in my hand. Anyway, here comes the second part of the game. This is where we start pegging around the board. So each player will take it in turns to lay a card down. If you can pair the card that your opponent has put down, you get 2 points. If you can make the accumulative score, the pegging count as it's known here, add up to 15, you'll get 2 points. If you can make a run, now the runs don't have to be consecutive even in this, so you could have like jack, 9, 10, that counts as a run. You would get points for that. So anyway, there's not much I can do here. They've put a 4 down. I can't make that into 15 out of anything. I don't have a 4 to make a pair of it. So I'll just play this 9. Takes the score to 13. They put down a queen. That takes it to 23. Now the maximum amount of points you can have in this pegging bit is 31. So of course I can't play now, because that would take the score to 33. They have an ace they can play. So because they had the last card of that little section of the pegging, they get given 1 point. If they'd landed on 31 at the end, they'd get 2 points. So looking at this, we can get an indication of what their hand is likely to be like. They've got a 4, a queen and an ace. Well, we know that adds up to 15. Potentially they've got a flush in here too, who knows. I'm going to play this 10 now and hope they don't have a 5. They've got a queen. So, like I said, runs count and they don't have to be consecutive. So I can put down a jack here and I will get 3 points for that. And I will also get a point for having the last card. So that takes me up to 4. Play that king. Because the opponent didn't have any cards left, I get an extra point for that. So we can see here, in their hand, our opponent has scored 6 points. The reason for that is they have the queen, the 4 and the ace twice, 15 points. And they have a pair of queens. So for each 15 they score 2 points, and for the pair they score 2 points. The 8 was of absolutely no use to them whatsoever. Here we can see all I scored is 4 points for that run of cards, 8, 9, 10, jack. But now I also have the crib. Now this is going to score quite nicely here. 7 points I got there. So if you look, you can see 10, 3 and 2, that makes 15, I get 2 points for that. 8, 4 and 3 makes 15, that's another 2 points for that. And 2, 3, 4 is a run. So, overall, I've made a fairly good start to the game. I've scored 16 points so far, they've only scored 7. So let's see what's happening with this next hand. So looking at this, there's no real big scoring numbers here. If I was to throw the 2 and the 8 away, they're cards that aren't really that easy to score big numbers from for my opponent. And I'll keep the jack and the queen, the 4 and the ace. There's some 15s there. There's a potential with this turn-up card. I might get a run. Let's see what happens. So I did, look. So the 10 comes up, so that will give me 10 jack queen. That will be worth points, plus another 15 here as well. So very useful. So because my opponent dealt this hand, it's my turn to start in this pegging section. So I put down a 4, they put down a 5. That takes it to 19, 22, 23, 26. No one can go. They score a point for having the last card. And they will also do the same here. There we go. So, first up, it's me now, because the dealer always goes second in this scoring part. I've scored 9 points. 3 for that run, and there are 3 lots of 15, which are worth 2 points each. My opponent here has scored reasonably well. So, lots of 15s for them. So, 10 and the 5 is 15, but of course 7, 5 and 3 is also 15, and they have a pair of 3s here too. In their crib, they just have a run of 3 points for the 8, 9, 10. So I've got a slight advantage at this point. Let's see what the next hand brings. Okay, this is an interesting one. So this gives an indication of the sort of the different way you'd play when it's your crib. Now here, I've got an ace, 2, 3, which is a run, and I've got a king here with a 2 and a 3, which makes 15. So I can throw these away, the 6 and the 9. Now, because it's my crib, I'm happy to do that. I'm just putting points into my own crib. If it was my opponent's crib, I wouldn't make that call. I would probably throw away the 9 and the ace, I guess. But because it's mine, we'll keep those in the box. So we've got a 7 turned up. That's no good to us. Doesn't score us any points. So they've played a queen, we'll play the king. They played an ace, that's interesting. So we'll do the same. We'll get a pair for that, 2 points. We've got a 4. I wonder if we're going to get a run here. Maybe, unless they've got a 2 there. No, they haven't. We have, though. We're going to score quite a few points here. So we've got the run there for 4 points. And also, we landed on 31, which gave us another 2 points. 6 points for my opponent. Pretty much exactly the same hand I had last time. A pair and 2 lots of 15. In my hand, we have 5 points. The run there and the 1 lot of 15. Let's see what we've got in the crib. 4 points. That could have gone better, couldn't it? So we had the points that we put in there originally. They put a 10 and a 7 in there. 7 turned up. An 8 would have been nice. We'd have scored lots of points if we had an 8 there. Okay, so we've got a 15-point lead at this point. Let's have a look at what we're going to do here. So, we have a pair of queens and we have a 5 here. Good scoring cards. We're going to have to split this pair of 3s up, I think. The 9 is no good to us at all. We'll throw that away. And I guess we'll put one of the 3s in there. Not very easy for them to score too many points off of that. Let's see what turns up. An 8. That's no good to me at all. Okay, so let's start the pegging part. We'll play a queen. They've played a king. We'll play the other queen. We get a point for the last card. Then, oh, here we go. We can put the 5 down. We got 15. That's for 2 points. Hopefully they haven't got a 4 here. They haven't. Okay. So, I'm going first. 6 points for me for the pair of queens and 2 lots of 15. They've got just 4 points for the 2 lots of 15 here. But what have they got in their crib? Anything useful? Oh, it's not bad. So you can see here, they had a run of 6, 7, 8, 9, but also 15s. 9 and 6 is 15, 7 and 8 is 15. So 8 points in their crib. That's not bad for a crib, to be honest. Considering it's effectively random cards, it's pretty good. Okay, so my crib again here now. Let's think about how we're going to play this. I think I'm probably going to do exactly the same as I did last time. Just keep these 15s in here. Move that 15 into the box. Oh, that's not turned up too badly, has it? So we got a pair of 5s here, and there's going to be loads of 15, so that's good. So, let's play this pegging part now. There we are, we've ended on 31, we get 2 points for that. Okay, and we landed on 15 as well. That was good. So let's have a look what my opponent has got here. He's got a very nice hand. 14 points scored. So you can see here, 4, 5 and 6. That, of course, makes 15. But it's also a run. So they've done pretty well. So they had 2 lots of 15, a pair of 5s, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 twice. So that's the 14 points they got. Our score's not bad, though. We're going to end up with 10 points. So a pair of 5s and 8 lots of 15. What's in the crib? Anything good? Not a lot. 6 points. So 9, ace and 5 makes 15. 6 and 9 similarly. And the queen and the 5. Okay. Oh, goodness. What a decision we have to make here. Right. Now, this is one of those occasions where I'd love this to be my own crib. I'd probably put the queen and the 5 in there and keep the 2s and the 3s and hope that a 10 turned up or a 4 or a 1. I can't really throw those points away just in the hope of something good turning up. So, what do? I mean, I'm probably going to have to do that, I guess. Put the 2 and the 3 in there. We'll keep 2 and 3. We'll keep the queen and the 5. Maybe it's not the right call, but we'll see. We'll see what they end up with in their crib. Okay, let's start the pegging. Really? Oh, they paired that. Okay. Shame we don't have another one. And they're playing quite interestingly here. Hope they haven't got a 3. No, they don't. That's good. So, our hand here scores 6 points. 3 lots of 15 available in my hand. Their hand scores just 4 points. And what have they got in their crib? Anything good? Well, the turn-up helped them. Luckily, the 2 and the 3 I put in there had no impact on their hand whatsoever. But they still scored 6 points. 2 lots of 15 and a pair of 7s. So, there's only 8 points in it now. Well, this is interesting. So, I've got 2 runs here in my hand. Which one do I separate? So there's 2 ways I could think about this. I'll either put the 2 and the 3 in there and hope they throw some 10s in the box. Or I can put the 7 and the 8 in there, which is probably what I will do. Because this gives me a 15. 1, 2, 3 and 9 adds up to 15, of course. So let's do that. Let's see what we end up with here. So a 5 has turned up. It's not a great deal of use to us, but it's not the worst card in the world. Let's see how we peg along here. Oh, we're going to get a run here, so that's quite helpful. That's 4 points for us. So let's see what their hand has scored. Just the 4 points for them. So we've now got a 5-point lead with both of our hands to play. 7 points for our hand. So there was the 15 I talked about there. 9, 1 and 5 makes 15. And a run there of ace, 2, 3. So that's 7 points. Let's have a little look in our crib. So we've got 8 points in there. There are 6 lots of 15 plus a pair of 7s. Pretty good. But we're getting close towards the end now. We've got a 20-point advantage and not a bad hand to deal with here as well. Now it's our opponent's crib here. Let's not forget that. I think what we're going to do here, we'll throw the 2 away and we'll throw the 9 away. Again, hard for them to score too many points from those cards. That keeps us 4 points in our hand and plenty of opportunities for pairs and maybe a run or something like that. Let's see. What's going to turn up? A 3. So we do get a run out of it. So 3, 4, 5. That's not bad. So let's start the pegging. They do like putting pairs down, don't they? That's interesting. Oh, they did so with confidence because they had 2 4s. If I had put down a 3rd 4 to get 6 points, they'd have put down a 4th one and got 12. So good job that didn't happen. Okay, so let's see what their hand scores. Their hand is going to score quite nicely. Ours scores 7 points. So 15 twice and a run of 3. In their hand, they've got quite a decent one. 10 points. So lots of 15s in there. 4 lots of 15s because, of course, 8, 4 and 3 makes 15. And the pair of 4s there as well. What's in their box? Just 4 points. So this is where it starts to get interesting now. So because I'm the dealer now, that means they will play their hand first. They're, what, 24 points away from winning? So effectively, unless I really mess up the pegging, or they have an absolutely enormous hand, they're not going to get out on this hand. Whereas then I only need 16 points to win. I've got the pegging, I've got my hand, and my box. So let's see what we've got here. Not the greatest, it has to be said. Now, do I take a little bit of a risk? I'm going to put both of these 5s into my crib and hope that they put some 10s in. They're no real good to me in my hand. There's no benefit of keeping them there. So let's do that and let's see what turns up here. A 3. So our hand is not very good at all. That's for sure. Let's see. Oh, there we are. We can pick up 2 points for a pair there in the pegging. What's left? 8 points. So we can only play that 7. And we pick up an extra point here. So, what have they got in their hand? It's not terrible, but it's not going to get them close enough to the win. So they had 11 points there. So the way they scored that, obviously, the king, the 2 and the 3 is 15. 6 and 4 and 2 and 3 is 15. A run of 3 for the 2, 3, 4. And of course here they have a flush in their hand. Now one thing worthy of note, when it comes to your crib, the flush only counts if you have the same suit as the turn-up card. But when it's just your normal hand, that flush is fine. So what have I got here? 2 points for a pair. That is not very good. So here's hoping there's something half decent in the crib. Not really. Just the 2 points for those 5s I put in there. That's disappointing. You would really expect to pick up a little bit more than that. So now it gets interesting. I need, what do I need here? 8 points to finish the game. Of course, because the other guy is the dealer now, I will play my hand first. So the best way for me to try and score points here is to throw that queen away and throw that 2 away. So we've got an 8, a 6 and an ace twice. So we've got 6 points in our hand here. I need 8 overall. So will something good turn up here? A 9, yes, that's perfect. Look, 9 and 6 as well. We got more than enough here to win the game. So let's start the pegging. There we are. We get an extra point there. They get the last card point here. But if you look now, our hand is going to be more than good enough. We only need 7 points. And we've got 10. So the 9 and the 6s, the 8, the 6s and the 1, and the pair of 6s. So that gave us 10 points. We have got over the finish line first. That means We have won the game! Woohoo! So there we go. The game is telling me I made 3 suboptimal plays, a cumulative error of 5.5 points, but doesn't really matter. It's fine, we've won the game. So there we are. So that's a first look at cribbage on the channel. Like I say, if you do enjoy it, or you've played the game yourself, let me know in the comments section. Drop a like on the video if you'd like to see some more content. And yeah, I will bring you some more cribbage soon. Bye for now.